Hey guys, it's me, Arian, and today I'm going to be doing a new what ifs. Wow, I've been doing a lot of new what ifs really lately, but I will be doing. I will be get back to the old ones. Don't worry, maybe tomorrow, but well, I'll be getting back to them later. Well, Jesus. Of course, for the other what if that 10 like goal, I did I don't really think when I said it at first, um yeah um well, I didn't really mean that, because I do want to continue that series. I just don't have it planned out. That 10 like goal was just something I wanted. I wasn't going to I don't think I was going to end the what if, because I felt like I was going to, but at the start, since I couldn't really figure out what to do with it. But now I'm actually really interested to see, myself, to see what happens next. But anyways, magic souls do exist in this universe, so yeah. Uh, I'll I'll be right back. Okay, but anyways, magic souls do exist in this universe, and Deku is quirkless. Although people don't really know how to, though people just think of magic souls as really nothing, other than like giving them some boosts in power. But people don't know how to weaponize them. Well, like only a very few amount of people, maybe 5% of the population, actually know how to weaponize their magic souls. And Deku was born with the magic soul of determination, which. Okay? Sorry about that. That was my mom. Anyways, Deku was bullied for not having a quirk, although one day, All For One found out about Izuku's power, and basically sent a bunch of nomus to where Izuku, to his house. This happened when Izuku was around 10, I would say, around 10 years old. At first, a giant Nomu burst through the door, punching Inko in the face, knocking her out, and then Izuku, scared of the giant Nomu, then a flying Nomu that crashes through the roof, grabs Izuku with its legs and flies off to All For One's base. And once they get there, well, Izuku's unconscious well, he isn't unconscious. He's just he's nearly unconscious. All For One is about to pick up Izuku and put him into a testing tube or something like that, when Izuku wakes up well, basically just lashes out at All For One, just slapping his hand off of him. Well, as All For One's about to touch him when Izuku just slapped his hand away from him. And then Nomu just smashes Izuku into the ground, and Izuku is now bleeding And then Izuku sees a black vial, and he knows this is his only real benefit to survive. Well, anyways, he knows the only way to. He senses a presence inside that, and it's actually another soul, and so he gets up, gets the vial, and just eats the vial. He opens the lid and just basically drinks the vial. I was about to say he just eats the vial, but like, I don't know, a 10-year-old chewing on some glass. I don't think that's good. But basically, just just gets out of basically gets up from the Nomu, and then runs over to the black vial, drinking it, and like Izuku can sense souls. It's just he doesn't know how to do it as a 10-year-old. And then once he drinks it, basically a black outburst of energy goes around him. Basically a bunch of black energy goes around him, and let me just show you what he looks like. So this is what Deku looks like. Well, doesn't have the green jumper and the souls around here. It's just, the half hate face. Basically has the demonic smile all over her face, and the demonic eyes with the and has like tentacles growing off her back. And then I'll probably find a better picture next video, but anyways. Well, this is not like the best. I'm not saying this fan art is bad. I actually really like it, but I just haven't. It's not like the best. It's not like exactly what I want to explain. Well, it's not like going the best for what I'm actually trying to explain, but you know what I mean. It basically kind of looks like Kara here. But anyways. All For One sees this, and he has no idea how Izuku knew about the hate vial. Then Izuku summons a giant red knife, and remember, while he's covered by the hate, he has no idea what he's doing. So he's kind of it's kind of like Ultra Instinct, where he's unconscious, but he's still able to move around and that stuff. He goes off of his primal instincts, except for this time, he's mostly just a beast. He's not basically, it's not just because of his instincts, it's because of his beast side reacting. And then teleports behind All For One with a giant red knife in his hand, and then slashes All For One's back, but the Nomu moves fast enough to block it, damaging his chest, but the Nomu is able to recover. Then All For One fires off those black red tentacle things that come from his fingers. I forgot what they're called. I have no idea what they're called. Well, he basically uses quirk to deal with that. Then Izuku just dodges, or Deku, I'm just going to call him Izuku now. Izuku just dodges all of them by teleporting. And like it's kind of glitching when he does. Then summons the giant red knife again, and then tries to slash All For One again. But then All For One retaliates, shooting an air cannon kind of thing at like the shockwave at Izuku, piercing Izuku's chest. But thanks to the hate, he is able to recover from that. And then a bunch of other Nomus surround Izuku, and All Might sees this, and he basically just runs up the tower, defeating punching one of the Nomus to get into the tower, or like the lab or something. He sees like a bunch of Nomus storming the place, so like he has to stop it. Then he sees the giant fight between a 10-year-old kid and All For One. And well, also All For One's not fully recovered. He is able to survive. He still is able to survive, but well, anyways, that part doesn't even really matter that much. I guess you could say he's not really he's mostly in his chair talking to Izuku. Well, with the doctor with him, and then the doctor basically activates like a button that activates an AI that basically tries to restrain Deku with chains, or Izuku with chains. But then Izuku just breaks all of the chains by just pulling them. And the doctor's like, well, the doctor is just completely in shock to how strong hate has made, how the hate has made him. And then Deku or Izuku would just charge at All For One constantly with the Nomus shielding him, and that's when All Might jumps through the hole and punches all 4 Nomus in a matter of seconds. And then All For One tries to use his quirk on Deku or Izuku. Izuku just dodges all of them, and then All Might just socks All For One in the face, completely obliterating him, sending him flying through the wall. And then the doctor basically calls one of the Nomus, and the flying Nomu picks him up, and then they fly off. But then Izuku, one of Izuku's tentacles just strapped to the Nomu's leg, pulling it down, and then slamming the Nomu into the ground, summoning 4 knives in the air that would just go basically summon multiple knives that spike through the Nomu's chest. And then of course the Nomu does recover, but then Izuku comes out of nowhere behind the Nomu and then slices its head in half. And then Izuku faints, and the hate retracting into his body. And the doctor is arrested, All For One is arrested. And Izuku is interrogated for what just happened, what on earth just happened. And he basically told him that he felt a presence of a soul inside that vial, and so he knew it was his only chance to live. So he basically drank it, and filling him with hate. And basically then Izuku tells him about his determination. And like why All For One kidnapped him in the first place. And Izuku is set free. However, Izuku isn't going to be a villain in this What If. He's going to be a hero. It's just, he's been a lot more traumatized and tortured. But anyways, Izuku goes home. His mom wakes up and says, "What?" Well, his mom woke up a while ago. It's just when she saw Izuku came back home. She hugged him so tight that he can barely breathe, and then Izuku just has like his dinner or something, and then goes to bed. And of course, this was filmed on the news, like the fight. So Bakugo saw this. Bakugo and all of his classmates saw this, and is basically now is pretty afraid of Deku because of his immense power. I'll be right back. Well, anyways, they didn't really see him drinking the hate part. So they just think he was hiding his quirk. And nobody really became, Izuku grown up without any friends. Well, after that incident, he didn't have any more friends because no one wanted to talk to him because they saw how scary he could be. And to be honest, Izuku felt alone, and well, yeah. Now he's a lot more emotional than before, and much more socially awkward because he had no one else to talk to after that whole incident. Izuku would train with his hate for the next, I'd say 4 years, or like that. By the time, or like a few years maybe, getting it under control, and now basically has found a way to balance his determination and hate at the same time, and he calls this animosity. In case you didn't know, that's a glitch tail thing. There's a few glitch tail stuff in here. And basically, while Deku's in his hate form, like full of hate, he can summon, the knives, but if he's in his like normal determination form, then he can summon the red sword and shield. But when he's like using his animosity, then basically you can summon both knives, swords, and shields. Basically, what he looks like when he's in his animosity form, basically he has like the red eyes with the entire like black eyes with the red kind of irises, with the black inside of the red eye. If you know what I mean. It kind of looks like Sans' blue glowing eye, except it's red, and it's for both of his eyes. So yeah. One one day Izuku is so one day when Izuku's in middle school, the final parent teacher walks in, yada yada, mostly like the canon stuff in the anime. And everyone and then the teacher says, Izuku, don't you want to go to UA too? And everyone starts laughing at Izuku because he says, well, while they don't know he has like the hate, they still make fun of him for having a villainous kind of quirk, even though there's no such thing as a villainous quirk. And everyone's like, you get into UA with that kind of quirk? Yeah, I bet you get into UA? Seriously? With that kind of quirk, they would expel you before you even get inside of there. Well, like, they would expel you the first time they saw your quirk. And Izuku starts crying. And Bakugo hates Izuku even more than in the canon. Like, he's always making fun of him when he's listening or not. Just always making fun of him. Although Izuku's strong heart prevailed, and he still is going to be a hero. So yeah. Then the canon thing goes like Bakugo basically when everyone's heading out to class, Bakugo grabs Izuku by the strap of his backpack, saying that he shouldn't even think of applying to UA, and then throws his notebook, explodes it, and then throws it out the window. This causing Izuku to snap, activating his animosity, and basically having his demented mouth, instead of being red though, it's black, like the demented black mouth. Kind of look what Betty has in Glitch Tail when in the Kumu kind of hate form. So yeah. Bakugo is kind of scared, but just ignites his explosions anyway, and they're basically just Izuku starts hissing at Bakugo, and Bakugo just starts just running at Izuku, but then Izuku just summons a sword of determination, because he's able to do that. And then basically, he summons a shield of determination, like a really big one, and basically makes Bakugo's. Well, it's kind of big, and basically it makes Bakugo's explosions bounce off the shield. And then Bakugo says that, well, at least you learned to weaponize your determination. Or at least you. Everyone knows. Well, everyone Izuku knows about his soul of determination, because he would mostly likely have told them. Well, most of them, anyways. Some people don't know about his determination, but no one knows about his hate except for All For One, and basically all the people. Like the police also know about his hate. and All Might knows about the hate. So yeah. Izuku is walking home when he hears a big explosion. Well, he hears a sewer drain open and then turns around to see the Sludge villain. Then Deku activates his animosity with the demented mouth and the red pupil, or like the red irises with black eyes, that stuff. Oops. Like, I never knew you can actually zoom in on this, but whatever. The Sludge villain basically starts to suffocate Deku, but Izuku just releases all the hate from his mouth. From like he makes hate tentacles from his mouth, just basically catching this Sludge villain. Then Izuku teleports, and then he still has the tentacles coming out of his mouth strapped to the Sludge villain, and then he summons a determination sword, slashing the sludge slashing through the Sludge villain multiple times at like super high speeds, just completely obliterating the Sludge villain, making it just drop into a bunch of sludge, and All Might arrives and says, I am here. And sees Izuku with the Sludge villain on the floor, all over the floor, and All Might just puts the Sludge villain in a bottle and says, "Thank you, young Midoriya." Thank you, young Midoriya. It's been a while since we last met, huh? And Izuku says, "Yeah, it has been. It has been, huh?" Izuku is a bit, worried. Well, is a bit nervous, but he's still. Well, yeah. But All Might flies off, delivering the Sludge villain to the police station. Jesus, how many times have I said that in these what ifs? And then Izuku walks home. But well, actually, before the next day, Izuku's just basically Izuku comes home, and that well, he comes home and he basically does everything he knows for the day. Yeah, and then the next day, he's just training. He's just walking. Just taking a walk, and on his way back home, then he sees All Might dashing in front of him, and is completely surprised. And then he says, "All Might, what are you doing here?" And All Might says, I came here because I deem you worthy of my power. He wasn't able to do it before because he was starting to, deflate. Well, like deflating back into his skinny form. And then he just says, and then Izuku says, wait, you deem me worthy of your power? Oops. Sorry. You deem me worthy of your power? But how is it even possible to give your quirk to me? And All Might explains what One for All is, and then he just says, "Would you mind pulling up your shirt?" And then Izuku just says, "Why?" And then All Might says, "Just do it." And Izuku is just confused, but does it anyways. And reveals he just reveals a 6-pack, and All Might says, "Good. So I won't have to train you much. So eat this." Just and plucks a hair out of his head. And Izuku is really, really confused, as he thought like All Might was just saying, is he insane? He was acting like a normal person just a minute ago, and now he's asking me to eat a hair off of his head. And then Izuku says, "Why?" And then All Might says, "You have to swallow a bit of my DNA. That's how it works." And then Izuku is like, okay. And then eats the hair. And then he says, "Well, I don't feel any different." And then All Might says, "Oh, well, since you just got the quirk, it will take maybe an hour or two to kick in. So how about we do some training on the beach over there?" Well, he says, "Meet me tomorrow." Actually, he says, "Meet me tomorrow at the." He says, "Meet me tomorrow at the." Meet me tomorrow at the. What was it? Oops. What's going on here? Just. Sorry about that. But anyways, All Might says that meet me tomorrow so we could train on that beach at 6 a.m. or p.m. Whatever. Just maybe at like 6 o'clock or something. Then next day, Izuku meets up with All Might at the beach. Then, well, they do some physical training. And when it came time to use the quirk, well, they did some physical training to make sure that, just to give Izuku that extra muscle. Also, I've been holding this picture up for a long time, but that's mostly because, well, I want to. But I probably will be using another image in the next part. Wait, just give me a sec. But anyways, was it? Oh yeah, so when Izuku used his quirk at first, he just some energy just came from his fingertips, destroying all the trash around him, and now his fingers were a bit bruised. Mama gave him an ice pack to ice it over with, and then when the bruises are gone, then All Might says that he should use his quirk more to get a better to get a better grip on it, and then Izuku uses it to basically create gales of basically expels a bunch of energy from his fingers, making massive gales that destroy all the trash around him. But now his hands are pretty much broken, and he sent to the All Might brings him to All Might brings him to the hospital, and then he gets I don't know. Izuku just comes home after his hands are broken. Then Inko calls the hospital, and then they bring him to the hospital. He calls the ambulance, and they bring him to the hospital. And then they just put some bandages over his hands. Basically, the next 10, Izuku, since he's like he's an alright, he's a pretty good vessel for One For All, because he's already done a lot of training with his quirk and his time. With not quirk, I mean with his soul and hate. He is able to handle the power of One For All. So his hands aren't super broken, so they usually heal in maybe in a few weeks. That might be short for broken. That might be a short time for broken bones to reform, but whatever. Basically, All Might tells him sees Izuku that he's swapping. Well, Izuku now gets used to using maybe 50% of One For All. And All Might says it's about time to have a little sparring match, although All Might won't be going all out. And so they basically have a sparring match. Although All Might sees Izuku is swapping One For All into different places of his body, from his legs to his hands. Then All Might says, "Young Midoriya, why don't you try focusing One For All throughout your body?" Well, or actually, okay, I'll just change that part. Since Izuku knows how to control hate, he controls One For All in the same manner after his first experience of breaking his hands. But after breaking his hands, he realizes that he can do this. If he was able to do it with hate, then he might be able to do it with One For All. And because hate is basically, hate is basically using a determination, and hate using mostly determination with a bit of hate. Sorry. Like, animosity is like 75% determination and 25% hate. But anyways, Izuku is able to gets full cowling before the internships. So yeah, And sparring match, Izuku is getting the upper hand against all, is doing well against All Might. And eventually, All Might just finishes him. Oh, sorry about that. My mom was hoovering my room. But, anyways. Oops. Jeez. Gee. So. All Might just finishes Izuku with basically full speed at full power with a Detroit Smash. He doesn't go full power like killing him, but just basically knocks Izuku out with a Detroit Smash. Because just to end the match, but anyways, a couple of sparring matches and destroying garbage later. Izuku I was able to use 50% of one for all. 50% of full cowling. Oh wait, you would be able to use. He would be able to use 75%. Because, he's already a pretty good vessel for one for all. Even though he has mastered most of one for all, he still has a few things to learn. Well, Izuku's not gonna be the super OP in this what if, but he's going to be pretty. He would be pretty strong. He wouldn't be easy to defeat. He would take a lot. If he was pitted up against, I don't know, maybe one of the strongest. Or like a Nomu from the USJ, which is like super hard to defeat. It was on level of All Might. Oops. Oh wait, just give me a sec. But why did it keep happening? Jesus. So Izuku. No. Oh, if it was pitted up against like the Nomu from the USJ attack, he would basically be able to land almost do enough to just kill. Do as much as All Might did, blowing it to the sky. But like, although he would probably lose. Well, anyways, he's not super OP. He's not easy to defeat. He's definitely not a pushover. That's for sure. Although he still is a bit emotional, so he's kind of like Sun Eater in a way, but he's not extremely emotional, but anyways, that's why I'm gonna leave this what if off today. Because I really hope you enjoyed this. I had the hate idea I did have planned out. And I really had a lot of fun making this what if, and I hope that you did enjoy watching this too. I'll thank you for maybe like 205 views on what if Deku had Ink Sans powers. I am so happy that got as many views as it did. And that was my first what if video, so I didn't really think it was that good. But seeing how Jesus, how do I put this? Like, there are billions of videos on YouTube, but you decided to watch my videos, and that makes me so happy to see you actually, like, the past 30 videos I made weren't as popular as some of the videos I made now. And I'm really happy that you guys enjoy my videos. And this is the only reason why I'm still doing this stuff, is because you guys like to watch my videos. Without your support, I wouldn't even be doing this. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and don't forget to stay safe.